Hello everyone, we're back with more Star Trek. Now I start talking after 1 minute. I press play in 4 minutes. So, today's first episode is going to be Crossover. Crossover, the episode with the Mirror Universe in Deep Space Nine. But before we get into that, you may have seen this video I did about Guinan using an El-Orion metaphor.
Captain touring the ship for a battle.
And here's where the outtake starts.
For a hopeless battle if tradition serves the gerbil well.
Not necessarily.
But when I never realized, am I really loud? I can adjust my volume. If the volume's too loud, I can adjust myself down. It looks okay on my output, but you never know. Sometimes it lies to me. What I never noticed in this episode is well before the outtake of it starts. Patrick Stewart is actually just wearing slippers here. This isn't an outtake, this is in the episode. I get the people, when they framed this shot, because the actual frame of the shot is a lot bigger. It goes up, it's like the bottom right 2/3 probably. They probably assumed those would be out of frame, but no, you can just see his slippers so he doesn't tromp around the set. Make it nice and quiet on stage. Because in the outtake you can hear Guinan is not wearing slippers, and you can hear her walking around. You can hear her clumping about. But I mean, they kind of had to do that because you can clearly see Guinan's shoes. Unfortunately, it was not my good eye in this case. It was someone else here. Must be in a reply to someone.
There's
someone
also,
else knows. Go ahead.
In the Next Generation episode where Data starts having dreams, which also guest stars your favorite Deep Space Nine actor, and he is seen wearing those shoe coverings as well.
Okay. Yeah, everyone loves the slippers. They're very important. I should buy myself some slippers.
Slippers are pretty great.
So everyone be queued up to Deep Space Nine Crossover, Season 2, Episode 23? Crossover. Triangle shoes? Hang on. I'm gonna keep my screen blurred because I don't want to show you my Amazon page, but let me look up and see if I can find triangle slippers. I see slippers that are vaguely triangular. Actually, I can just do incognito mode, so I'm not showing you my own personal Amazon. There we go. Triangular slippers. These ones are kind of triangular. Those are triangles. Those aren't triangular at all, though. I don't know what's up with that. A lot of these just aren't. What is this? What is this? I guess we don't have time to ponder because we're about to start the episode. If anyone would like to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. You just click on that and you're just in the voice chat. And press play in 3, 2, 1, play. What a nice, lovely runabout. We were just watching TNG yesterday, and the shuttlecraft apparently don't have warp in TNG. In early TNG, at least. And they're weird and boxy looking. These runabouts are so much better. Timer. Oh, right. The timer's hidden. Hang on, I can adjust that. I'll fix it. Alright. Timer should be coming up at the correct time. Yeah, because I was doing a stream on Twitch and using the same program. And I turned off the timestamp because it wasn't a timestamp sort of thing. Sadiq, what are you doing? Also, I think Kira was lying when she says she meditates all the time. I'm pretty sure that was a lie. Just trying to get him to shut up.
I'm not sure it's a lie. She definitely prays a lot, which is similar.
Yeah, she prays. Oh, is Kira actually enjoying talking to him now? What trickery is this? And he's ruining it. Okay. No, you may not call her Nerys. Bashir's big on first names, and he insists the chief calls him Julian. He calls Kira Nerys. He wants to be called Julian.
Why did they write him like this?
I don't. I don't know. Maybe the writers. Maybe Bashir is a self-insert for one of the writers, and the writer's just really awkward. Oh, are they married at this time? I know they're married later in the series, but are they married already?
I don't think they're. What their the Wikipedia page for them says they got married in 1997.
Okay.
So the series started in 93. So this must have been or 94.
Yeah, so
they're
they're
must have been around 95. Hey guys.
They're not quite married yet, but they will be soon. They will be getting married because of the clear chemistry they have from this episode. They love each other.
Yeah, this was 15th of May. A little while for them to get married. So they were married in the scene where she blames Julian for carrying the O'Brien's baby, which is like a proxy for her blaming him for their first child.
That child is actually named Kirayoshi El Tahil Al Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad bin Abdul Karim Al Mahdi. I guess it'd be Kirayoshi El Siddiq, technically speaking. Yeah, Julian gets so much better in later seasons. He's so much better. Just stops creeping on people, at least for the most part. And of course, the station is much less brightly lit than in the real universe. They did a nice little. Not a retcon, a little. They played with that idea in Undiscovery. Why everything is so darkly lit in the mirror universe. It's evil lighting, it's true. And now we've got like a good 2 minutes to kill because this is a really long intro sequence. So what happens in this episode? I know they meet Odo, and Odo doesn't have a great time.
It's actually that's actually one of my favorite visual effects of this show.
Odo's discombobulament.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like on par with the head explosion in TNG for me.
Okay, well, we'll have to Watch that very carefully when we come to it.
It's like in Raiders of the Lost Ark when that Nazi's head explodes.
They love exploding people. I don't know what to tell you. Oh yeah, I still haven't done the intro sequence with Siddiq's full name. Should get around to that. I need to find what font this uses. Hang on. I got a minute here. Deep Space Nine font. Font shop? I don't want to buy their font. ITC Handle Gothic, apparently. I don't have to buy the font. I can write a preview and then take a screenshot.
And then copy and paste the letters around.
Well, I mean, cat's out of the bag now, Major. I don't think there's a new series for Cisco. I think hasn't Avery Brooks been pretty adamant about not returning to Star Trek?
There are rumors that he's going to come back for some new thing, but they are purely rumors, and I think the site that originated them is actually fairly notorious for just publishing whatever they hear whenever they hear it,
Just
without any
lying.
regard for accuracy or good sources.
Oh, are we talking about Midnight's Edge? Because that's what they do. That's their whole thing.
I don't remember where it came from, but I do remember somebody describing it that way.
Oh, yeah, he's dead. He is so dead. He looks kind of familiar, though. If they bring back Sarah Lofton, they do seem to love each other, Sarah Lofton and Avery Brooks.
Yeah, they had a good mentor relationship.
Your volume's fluctuating a lot. I have to keep adjusting it manually.
Sorry.
And I bet this Garrick isn't even a good interrogator. He probably doesn't even just stare at people until they talk. Our Garrick could do that. Oh, hey, Smiley. Everyone loves Smiley. Because O'Brien doesn't suffer enough. Apparently, O'Brien suffers in the real universe, but in the mirror universe, he's all smiles all the time. Well, no, he does have a designation. He has a serial number. That's probably not what Odo's asking for, but he has one.
I guess we all have a little Gul Dukat deep down inside of us.
I can speak for yourself, man. I like to think I have nothing in common with Gul Dukat. Are you saying you want to enslave some Bajorans?
But like looking at Kira running the station like Gul Dukat, it's pretty scary.
Why is this station here? Because, I mean, the Cardassians probably didn't enslave the Bajorans in this universe. They seem to be buddies. I guess it's like a defensive station around Bajor, but it's also... It's also ore processing.
It's serving the same purpose that Tarak Nor did during the occupation. However, it seems that in this timeline,
The humans
Bajor is cooperating with the Cardassians for exploiting their planet, which isn't really surprising because this is the evil universe.
And I guess humans are the slave labor for exploiting Bajor.
Yes. Humans are apparently the slave labor throughout the Alliance, which I guess the Alliance consists of the Klingons, the Cardassians, and the Bajorans.
I think so.
Which means that the Bajorans are kind of like in this universe a somewhat major interstellar power, which kind of makes sense if you consider parallels from TNG where the Bajorans are kind of a major interstellar power.
Because they were spacefaring for a long time before humanity. So who knows what they did in the Mirror universe? They kind of wasted their potential in the Prime universe, but might have been very aggressive here. Focusing on their own planet and their own spirituality, disgusting. Focusing on their own culture, how dare they? Oh, good job, Kirk. Got Spock to ruin an entire universe.
Yeah, it was much better when the humans were putting people in agony chambers.
Exactly. As long as it's the aliens in the agony chambers, we're fine. The humans need to be in control.
The Terran Empire.
Oh, well, there's their history.
Quite an influential power.
She hits on herself so hard in this episode. It's like it's a gag reel.
Yeah.
Now, how much of that is Nana Visitor, and how much of it is Kira Nerys?
It's pretty well written into the character, the Mirror Universe character.
She's having an incredible amount of fun.
It's also a trope of the Star Trek Mirror Universe that only in the evil universe are there like LGBT characters, which is bad.
It's pretty common in Hollywood. The bad guys always.
Yeah, that is also a trope. Fabulous villain or something like that. I forget exactly what it's called, but you can look on TV tropes.
No, don't look on TV tropes. You'll be there all day. Yeah, there's Intending Kira. There's, I think, probably some of the characters in Mirror Enterprise. Dax, Ezri. Well, Jadzia and Ezri. Only the women, really, but... Yes, Kira. Embrace the dark side. Become leader of Bajor. No Kai, no First Minister, only Kira. I imagine for this shot they had another actor or just some producer or something sitting on the table while Kira was talking to them. And then they had Kira do the part as the intendant and had the producer, whoever, sitting in the chair. And then they mixed those together, so she had someone to look at. And someone to react to.
Yeah, they usually film these with either a reference, like a ball on a stick or something for them to guide their eye lines.
I recognize
like
that
there's-
Cardassian woman. Who's that?
AK Chalk, I would imagine the reference intendant was probably Nana Visitor's stand-in.
Did she get to wear the intended uniform?
Maybe.
Yeah, that Lady Cardassian. Oh! That Lady Cardassian was the one from The Chase in TNG. Where they find the precursor race. And they team up with the Cardassians, the Klingons, Romulans, and humans. Yes, we have heard of James Kirk. Let me see if I can find a picture of that woman. Well, I found a picture of her, but it's extremely low resolution. You can't even really see her face. Ah, here she is. Remove the blur. This lady. That looks like the same person to me.
Either that or you're being space racist and saying all Cardassian women look alike.
Well, they do all look alike. You're allowed to be racist against Cardassians. They're space Nazis.
So I actually kind of just realized TNG never went to the mirror universe.
Nope.
Yeah,
Not a once.
that's not necessarily a bad thing in my opinion.
True.
I am not a huge fan of the mirror universe in general.
But we could have gotten evil Picard doing an actual French accent, or, Patrick Stewart's best French accent.
It worked out better. I agree with Michael here because probably they had enough material to write with. Here it was like
We kind of got Mirror Janeway in that episode where
Yep.
they have like the bad memory. It's in the future, and people are like, the Voyager incident. Voyager wrecked our planet. And
Yeah, it's
just-
called Living Witness. It's
Yeah.
one of my I think it is my favorite Voyager episode.
It's really good. Yes, the stories of the warship Voyager.
But it's kind of cool that we jumped ahead and just got the backstory. It would have been pretty terrible to see all that play out. The rise and fall of the Terran Empire. Or
Seeing Spock be assassinated.
the history of the
Humans being
decline and
enslaved.
fall of the Terran Empire.
They don't even have gold press latinum in the mirror universe.
I like that Quark is like a figure in the alternate universe Underground Railroad.
Yeah, we only got the mirror universe intro credits in Enterprise. Maybe Discovery. I've always skipped the Discovery intro. Do we get alternate credits in Discovery Mirror Universe?
I don't remember.
I'll see you, Garrick. Or, see you, Quark.
Part of my problem with the Mirror Universe is that it is so obviously just a playground for the writers to screw with whatever they can't screw with in the Prime Universe that you just can't care about it. Or at least I can't.
I mean, yeah, I don't really care what happens to anyone in this universe, but it's a fun little diversion. Since it's used very sparingly.
I mean, Part of the reason I love it is because the actors go so wild. Like Avery Brooks in that, he growls in a way we never hear him growl.
That's true. They do get to play a little bit more just in acting in general.
In my opinion, the best Mirror Universe anything is Mirror Vic Fontaine. It's like, what? He's not a hologram? Wait, what's going on? How's Vic here?
That's funny.
Why do they all have patches of Earth? I mean, we can plainly see they're Terrans. We don't need to mark them.
It's like Holocaust imagery, but yeah, you're right.
Is he an export and transporter technology? I mean, he presses the buttons on it. Yeah, no, in the future, everyone on Earth is from North and South America. Europe and Asia don't exist. Or Africa, or Australia.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I mean, Odo is clearly evil here. But I really feel like, given things that Odo has said in Ops before, like about how he wants to run the station, I feel like he would be doing the same thing in the Prime universe if they would let him. Odo has some issues. Are you feeling okay, Avery? Seems a bit manic here. Yeah, really, Mir Odo should have been more relaxed. Should have been a very nice guy. So he doesn't show up in this episode, but real Cisco does eventually go to the Mirror Universe and have significant interactions with Smiley. Do you suppose that when he gets back home, that Cisco occasionally refers to Real O'Brien as Smiley? And how does O'Brien feel about that? Or which Kira? And that first twinge of, he's actually having an awful time. He actually hates his life. Just putting on a face.
Yeah, drinking away his anxiety.
Some Vulcan slaves, typical of Quark's holosuite programs, but not so much in reality. Well, in Star Trek reality.
Man, I want to call my own twin deer, my dear.
No, I don't think we ever see Mirror Morn. I don't think so. Maybe the mirror. I don't remember his species. Lurians? Maybe mirror Lurians are strictly isolationist. They just keep out of the way of the Alliance and the Terran Empire. And this is why in Discovery they had to use an alternate way to get to the mirror universe and to get back. Transporter would not work. So they just fixed that. Okay, yes, Discovery's pre-Kirk. Never mind. Never mind, that doesn't actually make sense. I mean, the show makes sense. My comment doesn't make sense. Oh, hey, that's also the Klingon from The Chase. That's the guy who headbutts Data and challenges him to the Bahak Ghul ritual.
So all the scientists are military leaders here.
Yeah, they're all working for the Intendant now.
That's cool.
Now, where's the Romulan dude?
Professor Galen's probably processing ore downstairs.
You know, was the shot at the same? Hang on, this was 1994. TNG The Chase. It aired 19. The Chase aired 1993. So not quite at the same time.
Good observation, though.
I just want to. I need to pull up a picture of that Romulan from The Chase so I know I can recognize him if he comes up. Shit, we probably don't see any Romulans in this episode, but still. Alright, keep an eye out for this guy. This man right here. Not Tomalak, not Jarok. This guy. The riskier the road, the greater the profit. We all know. Your pa or whatever. But then where does real Kira go? She has to. Does she just flee to Bajor while Garrick takes over? Garrick in this universe is a lot less subtle. I guess he doesn't have time to be subtle. Just getting right to the point, like, if you don't work for me, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. He's like, please don't make me use some foolish euphemism.
Garrick loves using foolish euphemisms. It's like his favorite thing.
It's like the crumbs on the table, Doctor. You just have to pick them up. It's edgy in this alternate reality.
Oh, Odo, your time's coming shortly. You've just got a few minutes left. Ah, he'll listen better from that side, of course. So they've got to know about the wormhole at this point, don't they? I mean, it's not really subtle when it opens. They've got a whole station here.
No, they don't know.
But I mean, they came through it. It opened. The giant bloody
Oh.
hole in space. It's blue. It sticks out.
True.
And Kira told them about it. But they don't
She-
seem to ever acknowledge it.
I guess no one was looking out the window.
The station currently isn't near the wormhole. I guess the station could have been on the other side of Bajor from the wormhole at the time, since it's in orbit. Maybe there was a planet in the way. Terrans, not Terrans, Terrans. Did Kira just swear on my Star Trek? She's not allowed to do that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did she just. She can't do that. How dare she? And. Oh, there's Bajor.
Alex Kurtzman was behind this episode of Deep Space Nine.
Well, I don't see any Romulans yet.
Yeah, I was just thinking about them because they must still be in like isolation from like the original series or whatnot, and they just never came out.
Do we ever see Mirror Universe Romulans? I don't remember any.
No.
I'm thinking no.
Oh, yeah, that is 100% the same actor from The Chase. I know that voice.
I know that face.
Don't do it, man. Oh, well, that was very rude of you, Mr. Klingon. Completely unnecessary. Very rude indeed. I assume that's a Vulcan slave behind her, not a Romulan.
We don't even know if the Romulans are in this universe. I mean, presumably they existed at some point, but one of the things that we figure out in TNG is that the Romulans were at war with something on the far side of their empire from the Federation. Maybe they lost that war in this universe.
Maybe. Or maybe they never existed in the first place. Maybe they never broke off from the Vulcans.
No, they would have technically, but and fan theories say it might have been the Borg on the other side. So
Matters more urgent caused our absence.
There it is!
Dang it, I was looking away for a second. I'll have to scroll back. I looked away for 2 seconds. Alright, well, I'll go back to that after the episode.
did everyone a service.
See, what's weird about Bashir in this episode is that when he's not trying to ingratiate himself to his crewmates, he's actually not annoying. It's really weird. They wrote him okay in every other scene, except for the beginning scene in this episode.
Decent actor, bad writing. When he doesn't actually have to say anything, he's pretty good.
Right.
I like that beginning scene because it just shows when he's meditating.
Was that meditating? It seemed like he was hyperventilating in the beginning. That didn't look calming at all.
Yeah, it looked like the most annoying thing you could do to someone when you're alone in a.
Hey, Kira, you
Road
want to hear
trip
the most
with
annoying sound in the world? No. No,
really
we do not,
don't.
Siddiq.
And he doesn't have a love interest, so yeah, they have to basically pair him up with anybody and everybody.
Not even O'Brien yet. He'll get a love interest soon.
No, like season 8 or 7. Last episode, he winds up with Ezri.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Ezri.
Hmm.
Who cares about Ezri? Nah, man, it's all about Chief O'Brien. And
We're family friendly. This last fiction has to. I mean, it's your show.
I mean, we all know O'Brien and Bashir are more than friends. They love each other.
Yeah. And I love the What You Leave Behind because the writer, Ira Stephen Bear, he makes it clear he would have taken Garak in another direction. Even Dax maybe in another direction. Swing the other way.
How dare you murder your superior that was trying to murder you? What a jerk.
Apparently Kira would have gone the other direction too if Ira Bear had his way.
Well, Odo is replaceable, but I mean, there's a wormhole right there. And get right to the Gamma Quadrant. Find some more shapeshifters.
She's such a great actress.
Oh, I smell an execution coming. Yeah, the attendant would probably find it interesting to watch herself die. I believe she'd carry out that threat. What happened, Smiley? You were such a good slave. He's just so handsome. See, this is why we can't allow contact with the Prime Universe. Because these Terrans start getting ideas in their head. Start dreaming of better lives. Disgusting.
It's just a glorified transporter chief, Miles. Don't get too excited.
But he has a wife and a husband and 2 kids. Whatever his job is, it's better than here.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to wear a racist patch on his.
Oh, I think
jumpsuit.
that Bajoran dude behind Kira was from the siege. He was one of the Bajorans that took over the station. And Cisco's having a great time now. Who cares if he might die? He's really enjoying himself. It's all about the rebellion.
Man, the only thing we needed was Lisa and Beator on this episode.
Are there no station security outside of that one room? Is everyone on the station busy?
Usually Oda is pretty good at keeping the Terran slaves in check.
Or it could just take you to another random universe. You don't know what it's going to do, Kira.
Yeah, really.
It might take you to that universe where the Borg overwhelmed the Federation. And Riker's beard is everywhere. It could take you to the Kelvin universe, yeah. Oh, that worked itself out from this side. Yes. It's gotta be quite a sight to see. They go.
So she says through the looking glass there. What? How does she know that reference? Like, has she been reading human literature?
She has been. She loves human literature.
True.
It's better than Cardassian literature. Alright, I'm just scrolling back to find Odo
Kira knows
getting
the New
shot.
Testament. It's 35 minutes, 49 seconds ish. That's true. That's from the New Testament when St. Paul talks about what heaven will see, but as through a mirror darkly. Oh wait, no, through the looking glass is from Alice in Wonderland. But through a mirror darkly, isn't that the first TOS episode about?
No.
That's the Enterprise
TOS
episode.
Yeah, it's the Enterprise episode.
Okay.
The TOS episode is just mirror, mirror.
Right. But yeah, so through the looking glass is Alice in Wonderland. So she
That's
likes
quite an affection.
Lewis Carroll.
Alright, so the next episode is
Off
The
with her head.
Collaborator. The Collaborator. And I'll put on some jazz. Here we go. Where did I put my timing software? There it is. Stop that. Stop that. Play that.
Off with
Timer's going.
their heads.
And not too fancy. I didn't go all out with it, but just a basic. How big could Siddiq's credit be on screen?
Yo.
It's a big credit. And you could add. Just get that. A little bit more. A little bit more credit. Oh, wait. Press play in 3, 2, 1. play.
It should be as Dr. Jules (parentheses Julian Bashir).
Of course.
Make it as complicated as possible.
He stopped calling himself that when he was 13 years old. He's Julian now.
What difference does that make? That's the line from the episode.
Yes.
It's the same guy as last time. The bad.
Yeah, it's he's not a bad actor.
Yes.
He's just
I know.
plain.
That's what the audience called him.
I specifically called him out as not being a particularly great actor. I think he's being directed to be like quiet and serene, because when he shows up later in coincidentally another Mirror Universe episode, he's actually a better character and a better actor.
This is Barile, Mr. Codpiece. Vedic Barile. How can you hate Vedic Barile? Is this a dream or an orb experience? This looks like an orb experience. Oh yeah.
It's an orb experience.
Well, that's definitely some foreshadowing there. Barile, not in this episode, but he doesn't have a great time in later on.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a great time in this episode either, but it's not as bad as his time he's going to have in the other episode.
And this will be the last appearance of Vedic Wynn. This will be the last time she shows up.
That's true. Technically.
The best kind of true, as we all know.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I think
let's
there's
see.
still some room for improvement on your long Alexander Siddig.
On the Siddiq El Tahila Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abu Karim Al Mahdi.
Yeah.
So yeah, this episode is largely about a character who doesn't even appear in it. Kai Opaka. Kai Opaka.
She appears. She's in one of the orb experiences.
Okay. We find out she made a decision earlier during the occupation that it seems reasonable. It's very much needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody hates Vedic Wynn, but I mean, we love Vedic Wynn.
Yep. I love the general theme of
Triangle
Deep
ship.
Space Nine. It's like religion can be good, but clerics are evil.
Oh,
generally
hey,
speaking.
Barile. Yeah, Barile is the friendly, following the actual teachings of being like love thy neighbor religion. And Vedic Wynn is the pure burn the heretics at the stake
Oh, yeah.
side.
You and get rich while you're at it. Walk with the prophet's child. I know I do.
Vedic Barile's doing some acting here. Phil, could you move your microphone a little bit further away from you? We're getting some of your breathing sounds.
Sorry.
And I'll just adjust your volume up to compensate. Oh, that's a big credit. Multiple people, but A lot of credit on screen. Put your shirt on, Burial. What are you doing, man?
We're still getting you breathing there, Fiddle. You might want to go push to talk.
I don't know. I think a lot of votes matter to you, Burial. It's pretty important that you become Kai here. Yeah, him going around without his shirt on is his campaign. It's like, look at me. Does Vedic Win have this? No, she does not. Vote for Burial. How much time does Vedic Burial spend working out? Is that what he does in the monastery? That's all he does? He has this big garden, but you don't get that muscle definition from gardening. All the moving rocks around for the landscaping? Okay. Yeah, he's the nice side of religion. Godwin. How does anybody vote for Vedic Win to become the Kai? Literally anybody in the Vedic Assembly. How does that happen?
So my interpretation of it is that this is actually not just the Vedic Assembly. It's actually an open public vote because Kira talks about voting. And why would she get a vote in the Vedic Assembly, you know?
It could be a political thing, like the way Emperor Constantine, or like emperors used to have a vote on the Pope.
And I guess Vedic Win is a lot nicer, sort of in public. It's only when she's talking to the main characters that we actually know, or when we see her in private, that she goes full evil.
Yeah, I mean, nobody on Bajor probably knows that she tried to get Burial assassinated on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, she is the most two-faced character on the whole show.
Oh, she meant a lot of disrespect. Stop saying that, Vedic. She's not your child. She's Burial's child.
Ew.
Sorry, family-friendly stream. It's a collaborator. We know that man and his weird crochet jacket that everyone wears. Isn't this guy just a filing clerk, essentially? We learned to forgive our Cardassian filing clerk who worked at the worst labor camp ever. But we can't forgive the Bajoran filing clerk.
Well, the difference is that the Cardassian one was actually, like, contrite
Remorseful.
and felt guilty about everything that happened while he was there. Kubis is just like,
Get over it, people.
yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, plus that filing clerk wasn't the war criminal he was pretending to be.
And everyone's having orb experiences today. Oh, that Kai outfit does not look good on you, Barial. Can you get a different outfit? I mean, Kai Opaka has a special Kai outfit. Why are you wearing that one? And if the Kai makes their own outfit, because this is the same outfit that Kai Win wears. I mean, the real reason I would assume is because they only made the one outfit. And he's just wearing it for the orb vision. But I guess they just have a very similar fashion sense. So at least they can agree on one thing. Okay, the prophets apparently just want to murder Kai Barial. Good to know. Yeah, no, I don't think that's true, Opaka. No, we actually see several Vedics die, don't we? There's that Vedic from when the Cardassians occupied the station. There's the Vedic from later on in this episode. Vedic Barial. Do we have any more dead Vedics? We have at least 3.
Which Vedic is dead in this episode?
Prylar Beck. The guy who's in the orb vision.
Okay. Well, he's already been dead. He's been dead for a long time.
Well, yeah, but still. A lot of dead Vedics in the show. Vedic is a dangerous profession. Go ahead.
Those rattlesnake churches where you have to like hold a rattlesnake on Sunday night, otherwise you're not a good true believer.
Oh, and of course, Kai Opaka died, yes. Repeatedly. Actually, I think she only died once, but she can die repeatedly. She probably has by now. She's here to execute you.
In the concentration, the Jews who worked for the Nazis for extra privileges as supervisors, they were called kapos, and they were really hated.
I can imagine.
Kapo.
So who is number 1 on the list? Gul Dukat? Or are we talking about just Bajoran collaborators?
I think just Bajorans in that case.
And how high up was Kira's mother on the list?
She probably wasn't on the list because she's dead.
Yeah, I know.
Also, the Japanese kept a lot of Korean comfort women for their soldiers, so I don't think a concubine for the occupier would really be a collaborator.
Kira seemed to think so. Or maybe that's just her. Yeah, Dr. Mora is kind of a collaborator. He worked for the Cardassians. But it didn't work on for the Cardassians on anything that hurt the Bajorans, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Odo is also a collaborator.
Yep. And he's more of a collaborator than... Honestly, he's more of a collaborator than this guy, Kubis. Odo got people killed.
True, Odo's like the Nazi rocket scientist who went to work for NASA and helped the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Yeah, God, what was his name?
He developed the V2 rockets, and then he went ahead and developed the Saturn rocket for the U.S.
Von Braun, that's it.
Nazi scientists are okay if they work for us.
Enemies, Kai. Or, sorry, Vedic, not Kai. Oh, Cisco, I would love a list of everything that Vedic Win has done to earn your spite. She also blew up a school and attempted to assassinate another Vedic. She keeps calling people my child, which is just weird and creepy. Well, Vedic, it sounds like you should go to the Vedic Assembly and preach that right now. Yeah, Opaka's allowed to call people my child. Opaka can do it. Oh, that would be most unfortunate. Another Prime Directive violation, if he does that.
I mean, technically the Bajorans are not pre-warp.
True,
No,
but there
but
are...
it's
like
not
they can't-
necessarily a provision of the Prime Directive that they don't interfere with internal matters of another government. I think that is separate from the Prime Directive.
I think they reference the Prime Directive in reference to the Klingon Civil War, and how they won't interfere in that.
We'll have to wait for that season.
Oh, also, from the Marquis last week, he says that Admiral
Not-
he calls says it's internal to Bajor. The Prime Directive applies, Ben.
Okay, you're right.
Darn right I am. Not that it matters. The Prime Directive is very inconsistent. And you gave her access to the station security computer? Oh man, I'm just remembering everything that happens in this episode later on. A lot of this stuff feels too real. I don't think I like this episode anymore. It was really fun when I first watched it, some years ago. Oh no. Yes, that is the implication. Yeah, let's go and dig up some dirt on our political opponents just before an election while we try to curry favor with outside governments. Sounds good. Seems like a solid strategy. Stop saying that, Kai. Vedic, not Kai.
Spoilers.
No, she'll never become Kai. We would never want a consistent recurring villain from Bajor. Bajor is strictly allies.
It wouldn't be as good of a show, this character. Someone you love to hate.
Hey, you want to get in on my scheme?
I love her head looking like the Sydney Opera House.
Yep. Very fancy Sydney Opera House hat.
Oh, Jen, Kai Wynn is way more competent than Trump.
Kai Wynn. Sorry, Vedic Wynn. Vedic Wynn actually has a solid plan. She's thought this all through. And she puts on a good face in public so people don't know about her, being evil. Sure you are, Vedic. There's another child. You know what else would shatter faith in the Kai? Maybe some Kai that doesn't even believe in the prophets. That might be a bit of an issue.
Well, she doesn't not believe in the prophets. At least not yet. Actually, I don't think we can say that she doesn't.
Well, someone who
She
doesn't
definitely,
worship the prophets.
yeah, later on she
Someone who doesn't
definitely
follow
turns
the prophets.
against them. But right now,
I don't think she
she's
even cares about the prophets. I think she just cares about using the religion as a means to grab power. I don't think she cares about the prophets at all.
well, she is. No, that's definitely not true. She does care about the prophets. She's just not very in tune with them. Because I wouldn't because she wouldn't react the way she does in the final season when the prophets stop responding to her if she didn't care about the prophets. She's just
I
overly
suppose.
ambitious as well.
True. But has she had an orb experience yet? Because I think
She
at this.
so she does do orb experiences, but that's not generally considered like talking directly to the prophets.
She's the slimiest. Imagine. if you know what's
Kubis?
good for you.
Kubis, if you would just shut up for like 2 days, Bajor would be in such a better position. He's making a deal with the devil.
He's like the Comey of Bajor.
Honestly, I'm surprised the Vedic Assembly was even a thing during the occupation. I mean, I guess they could leave it going as sort of like a puppet thing.
So there must have been like an approved group of Vedics that could do things, because like later on, Wynn describes
That the
worshiping
Vedic she
prophets as
bribed
being
someone while in the Vedic
what
Assembly.
Wynn describes during the occupation that it was dangerous to be an open worshiper of the prophets. So like there must have been like a puppet or stand-in Vedic assembly during the occupation.
I just find it hard to believe that Vedic Burial would have been approved by the Cardassians, but he apparently was in the Vedic Assembly at the time.
I mean, on the other hand, you could imagine that they could elect whoever they want as Vedics, because those are just the religious leadership.
No real power.
Yeah. Like, you could pray to whoever you want.
Maybe that's why Goldacott should get a statue. He was gracious enough to let them keep their religious beliefs. He let the Vedic Assembly continue. What a nice man. They just won't appreciate all the things he did for them.
Tolerance, mercy, all the virtues go to Guldukat.
Kira, or Odo's probably already in love with Kira. He might not realize it yet. I guess we'll find out the next time Odo sees Kira interacting with another man. Barile or Shakar. Yeah, Odo looks a little uncomfortable here. Yeah, Odo loves Kira. Well, that's a bit sketchy. Presumably a Vedic. How big is the Vedic Assembly? Is it like 50 people?
I don't know that we know.
In the
I'm gonna
dream
look it up.
that we had earlier, it was only like half a dozen or a dozen Vedics, and they were all voting for each other. So you would imagine that's like their College of Cardinals.
Just seeing if there's anything even in beta canon about the size of the assembly. Because that might have just been only a fraction of the people. Uh, I don't like the way you're looking at Quark there. Yeah, no, I'm with Quark here. How did he guess? Probably because you look at him like you're about to blackmail him. It's not illegal if a cop tells you to do it. Them's the rules. Is this entrapment? I feel like this is entrapment. He's being forced to do an illegal action by a police officer. Not just being offered the opportunity, but actually being forced to do it. Wouldn't want to give away his methods. Odo might use that against him. Man, why do Vedics keep hanging themselves on the promenade? Can't they do it in their quarters in private? Come on. Alright, someone said 112 Vedics. It's a lot of Vedics. Vedics don't even have the decency of committing suicide in private. Very rude of them. Just encrypting empty files just to mess with people. You just gotta hope the Cardassians used quick erase instead of secure erase. Want to recover little fragments of data. Why are the scans even stored? I guess just so the Cardassians can reference them. That doesn't quite look like enough to identify someone. I wonder who it could be. Could it be the person we're all afraid it is? Yes, it can be. Hey, Barile. Your excellent muscle definition won't save you this time, Barile. And there's Prylar back again. Shirtless Barile again. It's very important to the show. Is that Vedic Win behind him? Or is it another Barile? Oh no, it's Win. I don't like the implications of that sentence, Win. Are you gonna murder Vedic? Don't murder the Vedic. Kara, what did I just say? You're not allowed to stab Barial. It was so rude. I guess the prophets are. I mean, there are two interpretations here, I suppose. One, that the prophets are telling him he shouldn't be Kai, or two, just warning him that he won't be Kai. That, but this looks like a threat. It looks like the prophets are threatening him. You don't have evidence that he did that. The files are empty. You don't know that that's what the message said. All you know is that he sealed an empty file, or what's now an empty file. It doesn't look good for him, but you don't. That's not proof. Unless he just admits to it. A confession's pretty good evidence. Oh, Vedic Barile. Do we have a third party we can vote for? Can we vote for... Yeah, Kira mentioned a third party. Vote for that person. Wynn's not the only alternative.
We need a recurring villain from Bejor.
But Bejor doesn't need a recurring villain. I don't know. I don't remember the other Vedic's name, but just vote for them. The other Vedics have got to know how evil Wynn is. But then, yeah, if it's a popular public vote and most people don't know, no, we're just gonna pretend that third party doesn't exist, or maybe they just don't get many votes because no one cares. Can we vote for Kira to be the next guy? Or Shakar to be the next guy? Or literally anyone else to be the next guy? I'd vote for Batman to be the next Kai over Kai Wynn. That seems like a good vote. Wynn is the worst. Too little, too late, though. This looks an awful lot like the chamber where they show the next guy. And there she is. Now, she does look a lot better in that outfit than Vedic Burial did. So, you know, it's not a complete loss. Yeah, it's tradition to change in front of the Vedic Assembly. That's what the Ranjans are for. Yeah, no more Sydney Opera House. A devastating loss. Maybe we'll see other Vedics wearing it. But no, most of them just wear the small hats. There's one Opera House on the left. I don't think Boral's decision here was a good decision. We'll find out in just a moment who the real collaborator is. But Boral, was it really worth protecting that one person? And let Kai win, take control? I mean, he knows she's evil. She may not have done all of the evil things she's going to, but he knows she's evil. Yeah, protecting someone who will never return to Bajor anyway.
Kaiopaka as a collaborator.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah, but that massacre was an inside job.
Yes. In this particular instance, it was an inside job. In this one instance.
Opaka lies, who dies? Guess this is the beginning of like the moral gray that sets the tone for the rest of DS9. I could never see TNG being like this.
TNG tried to have some morally gray, but usually when they tried, the other option was just kind of evil and they were trying to find a way to justify it. Like letting entire planets die. Just because it's in the cosmic plan. It's their fate.
Yeah, that was a funny line by Riker yesterday.
God, I hate that line so much. It's probably my least favorite line in all of Star Trek. And so the next episode, put on some jazz. The next episode's a pretty good one. The next episode is Tribunal. Another O'Brien must suffer. And O'Brien's gonna suffer a lot. Quick 1 minute timer. You okay over there, Mike?
I'm fine. Why?
You've just been quiet for a while. Wanted to make sure you weren't dead.
No, I'm just Multitasking.
Okay,
He's probably heartbroken over Kyle Baka's
it's true.
betrayal of her own people. I get really relaxed when I watch the show, so sorry about the deep breathing, but can you hear my breath right now?
Yes,
little bit,
occasionally.
Okay, sorry. Let me
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. The real O'Brien must suffer is he has to deal with the stress of leaving the station in other people's hands. He can never trust that they'll repair it correctly. And it always needs repairs. Yeah, what was up with the breathing getting deeper when Boral's shirt came off, Mr. Fiddle? What was up with that?
Yeah, I think I'm caught.
It's okay, we all breathed a little bit deeper when Boral did that. When we saw Boral. And people might say the most attractive person on the show is Kira or Jadzia or Ezri. Nah, man. Vedic Boral. Of course, even Vedic Boral is second to Chief O'Brien, as Julian Bashir knows.
Just my heart beats a little faster when Vedic Baral comes on the station.
Shut up, O'Brien. Get out of here.
Too bad we're not going to be seeing Baral anymore.
Well, he's got at least 2 more episodes.
He still has to die. They really need doors on the elevator. You have Smiley O'Brien. See, he's smiling here. He's having a little bit of levity before his torture episode. Ludarium.
And again, the turbo lift paused just to show his head.
Yep. I assume it has an emergency stop button. And he's just using it very casually. Now, what if O'Brien just took another hallway? What if O'Brien didn't recognize him? What if O'Brien just said, "Sorry, I'm too busy, gotta go"? Yeah, why is everyone from the Rutledge evil? The captain of the Rutledge is evil. Boone here.
Maxwell? He
Yeah,
wasn't
Maxwell.
evil.
What?
It wasn't
Dude
even-
straight up murdered hundreds and hundreds of people for no reason.
Well, so yes, but
I
don't
feel like
think he
that
was-
counts.
he wasn't acting that way because he's evil. He was acting that way because he believed the Cardassians were arming for war, and he wasn't wrong. He was just a
and
rogue
justify the
captain.
means kind of guy.
Yeah, that.
I
too.
mean, he was right that they were doing that, but I don't believe that that was the reason he was doing it. I think that was the way he justified it to himself, but I think the real reason was just vengeance. Captain Maxwell had some real issues with the Cardassians. And I mean, you can get why. They murdered his entire family. So, I mean, fair enough, he's a bit upset. But he did still murder hundreds of people. They were only spoonheads, though. Nobody likes a spoonhead.
He's evil in a post-traumatic stress way, kind of evil.
Yeah, Boone here is definitely evil, as we find out. Though, as we'll additionally find out that's not Boone.
No spoilers, please.
Are you familiar with this episode?
I totally forgot it, but
Oh.
it's obvious enough. Because
He's definitely evil in some way. Yeah.
And then he's like saving his voice recording for like some deep fake stuff. Like only an evil person would do. And the last episode has that clerk bump into someone on the promenade. This one has O'Brien bump into Boone on the promenade. Just don't bump into anyone on the promenade.
We are starting off the episode with a Keiko must suffer. Trying to have a nice getaway with her husband. He brought technical update manuals. He's not even paying attention to her. No, leave Molly. Leave the kid. Yeah, never plan a vacation while the cameras are rolling. It's a bad idea. Just gonna glare at him until he puts him away. Why is everything about Keiko so aggressively Japanese? Why do we never get Irish music from O'Brien? Every time they're together, it's always the Japanese stuff.
I wouldn't have known about bonsai trees if it wasn't for Keiko and Mr. Miyagi.
But she never engages with his cultural heritage. There's that one time from the Captain Maxwell episode where he kind of forces her to. He's like, I'm cooking you Irish dinner tonight and you're gonna like it.
Is that an adult joke in my Star Trek?
It was. She didn't even give O'Brien's Irish food a fair chance. She was criticizing it as soon as it came out of the replicator. That was a weird looking ship. It was a completely different color from most Cardassian ships.
Yeah, and it was front heavy instead of back heavy.
Hey, Golovec. Golovec shows up a lot. He's the one Cardassian Gull assigned to the Bajoran sector. I'm just thinking back to all the times O'Brien and, well, both O'Briens, because where Miles and Keiko were interacting. Like, their wedding was Japanese style. They eat Japanese food. They listen to Japanese music. And that's fine and all. But share O'Brien's culture too.
They were married in a Japanese wedding
Yeah.
in TNG. Why wasn't there a Catholic wedding?
Yeah, maybe Miles is into that. Maybe he just really likes Japanese culture, so he's perfectly content to go pure Japanese.
Are there consecrated priests in the 24th century?
And he got shot. Poor Miles. Surprising Cardassian weapons even have a stun. Yeah?
First of many ways in which he will suffer.
Oh, yeah.
Cardassian weapons have two settings, stun and kill. That's it.
I just remember the Andorian phasers only have kill, at least in Enterprise.
I love this episode.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Is this the first look we get of Cardassia Prime?
No,
think-
it's shown up before.
Is that light really necessary? What does that do for you? They have this big fancy spotlight on a moving arm with a motor. What? Why not just have a light? Oh, Brian, you're no Vedic Barile here.
Yeah, you've had 8 seasons to get into shape.
I guess he's too busy to work out. He actually has work to do on the station, unlike Vedic Barile, he just has all the free time in the world down on Bajor. Vedic Assembly doesn't do nothing.
And Kung Fu was invented by Shaolin monks who practiced the art of Qigong. And so they needed to stay in shape while they were sitting there and meditating all day. So monks are buff.
Oh, Brian, what do you think punching that Cardassian is going to do for you? You're on Cardassia Prime. What is your plan here? This is just reacting instinctually. And oh boy. Oh, that was a pretty easy extraction. Cardassians must be really strong and clean. Look how clean that tooth is. Cardassians are good at this. But I'm sure the Federation can give him a tooth implant. It'll be fine. Does that even count as clothing? What's with the spikes? What are the implications of what they want O'Brien to do if they're giving him leather with spikes on it?
This is family friendly.
Oh, well, that's comforting. The best lawyer on Cardassia. O'Brien, you really should have done some reading on the Cardassian legal system. Not that they have one, really. Yes, they are. Yeah, if you just use Cardassian station and Cardassian architecture, all you need is one set. They're both Cardassian. Odo's not known for being a comforting presence. He's a very blunt man. Not a man, technically.
You just need a gray room with gray walls. So all you gotta do is put up 4 drywalls and that's a Cardassian interrogation room.
Oh, hey, Madam Archon. That's quite a title, though. Why don't we have Archons in our legal system? And how come Star Wars senators get capes, but US senators don't get capes? Why do all these sci-fi franchises have better legal systems? Well, better, I say. More interesting legal systems. You know, Nancy Pelosi should not be Speaker of the House. She should be Archon of the House. Can we rename that?
At the moment, I am open to all suggestions for revisions to the United States government.
And we can do some renaming.
Yeah, Archon was the ancient Greek for like it's underneath the demigods, but it's pretty up there.
It's also a unit in StarCraft 2, which you get by merging two High Templar together. Or Dark Templar. I need to do a Photoshop of my senator wearing a cape. Nestor. Very fancy. I mean, so in the American legal system, when people are sentenced to death, it's a very, very expensive process because it takes a very, very long time. You have to hold people for a really long time. It's sentenced a while out. There's appeals to be made, and you have to be very, very sure. So you have a very extensive legal process to actually get to an execution. At least the Cardassians are saving all that money. They just execute people immediately.
Right.
Think of all the savings.
And interestingly, it costs more to put somebody to the death penalty than it costs to keep them life in prison.
Yeah. Unless you're Cardassian.
I love this lawyer character.
The faithful execution of justice isn't nearly as important as short-term quarterly gains. Think of the profits you can make.
He loves the Kardashian judicial system.
Public conservator. He's not a private lawyer, he's a public defender. That's nice that they have public defenders on Cardassia.
I mean,
I guess they wouldn't want private firms because the private firms might actually try to save people. What were you going to say, though?
I was going to say that, the public defender is a dubious term for what he does. He doesn't really defend anything.
True.
And the Cardassian system doesn't even have prosecutors because, when you decide the verdict, what do you need to prosecute?
Even the Klingons have prosecutors.
And actual defenders.
Yeah, it's called an adversarial system of justice.
Man, why
Well,
is
not the
O'Brien
Cardassian
wearing
one.
leather spikes?
Sorry, what
Is
did you
that...
say, Mike?
The Cardassian system is definitely not adversarial.
Nope.
No. Is this what Cardassians just assume humans wear? They try to give him something human looking? Or is this actually a prison uniform? Oh, very heartwarming trial. I don't think that's the intended uniform. Largely because I don't think the intended uniform that fits Kira, or fits Nana Visitor, I don't think that would fit Colin Meaney.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we've seen this before, and you're right. It is Kira, maybe, or was it Mirror Universe Kira?
But
But
yeah, Colin might stretch it out a bit.
the whole recycled tire thing, I feel like we've seen. Kira wear it.
Poor O'Brien. He's trying his best here, but everything he does, the Cardassians just love it. Define one. If by won a case you mean made the Cardassian people feel good, then yeah, he wins lots of cases. Wins all the time.
Oh, he does a great job.
It's reminiscent of that line from, I think, last week, where Gul Dukat insisted Cardassians don't make mistakes. If someone's brought in for trial, they are guilty. No matter what. I wonder who might have done the transport and had the ability to play back O'Brien's voice. How could this have happened?
Although, in fairness, the last episode showed Kira running an investigation and arriving at the wrong conclusion.
And these Cardassian computers suck. First of all, they don't require a password. Secondly, they just verify someone based on a voice print, including if it's just done from a recording. What kind of crap is that?
I mean, Federation computers do the same thing on the Enterprise.
No, the iPhone is more secure than that.
The Enterprise D, Data is able to copy Picard's voice. Wesley is able to copy Picard's voice. They just...
True.
Federation passwords are like 3 words long. It's like Pi Alpha Tango is a password.
There's a number in there too, but yeah.
Alright, the one I'm thinking of is from First Contact. 47 Alpha Tango is Picard's password.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it starts with his name.
Yeah.
Hey man, it was the 90s. Don't worry about it.
May as well have been his date of birth.
And even the orange jumpsuits look better than this thing they gave O'Brien here.
I think those belts are from Romulan uniforms.
Yeah. Good observation. He should be in a lot more pain from losing a molar.
Cardassians gave him some pain suppressors. They're not monsters. Probably. Maybe. Well, O'Brien, we all know you're guilty already, so if you didn't want Keiko to see this, you shouldn't have done the crime. Yeah, Data was the only person on all of Star Trek who had a secure password. It was a good password. Let me look it up real quick, because I certainly don't know it offhand. One 1734673214776 Charlie 32789777643 Tango 732 Victor 731788873247678976436 Lock.
That was great.
It's hard, even just reading the thing, it's hard to keep your place among all the random numbers. Unfortunately, that one specific absurdly long password is now very weak because a lot of people use it. Who used that for a password? I don't know. Another good password would be Siddiq's full name. Yeah, you could probably make a password Siddiq El Fadil El Tahil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmad Abu Karim Al Waqti. That should work. I mean, one of my passwords does use a Star Trek term, but it's really long. So you can try and guess it, and sure, I'll give you the hint that it contains at least one Star Trek word.
My password in the 90s was NCC1701D.
Okay, that's my Wi-Fi password name, not the password though, or the Wi-Fi network name, not the password. Specifically, 1701D is the name of my 5 gigahertz network, and my 2.4 gigahertz network is just NCC 1701 because it's slower. No, my password, not to YouTube or anything, it's a strictly just one of my passwords has some Star Trek stuff, some proper nouns, some English, some German, some numbers, some special characters. Not to toot my own horn, but I have a very good password. No, the the chat commands don't work on the YouTube stream. They're not set up for that. They're only set up for Twitch. I'll see you though. Hang on. If we can reconstruct O'Brien's voice sound by sound to open weapons lockers, and we know they have recordings of Majel Barrett doing all the phonetic sounds. I know people have said we can recreate the voice of the computer, but we recreate the voice of the computer specifically to break into stuff. Use the computer as a password. Perfect. I don't know if it's fair to say that I stream on Twitch. It would be fair to say I have streamed on Twitch. I'm considering making it a regular thing.
You streamed last night.
Yeah. Streamed last night, played through Luigi's Mansion. It's a good game. Twitch.tv/Ryans_edits.
Why is the jury nervous? There's no suspense here.
Well, they're on television. If they don't put on a good show, maybe they'll be in trial next. Yeah, what is up with her hair? Actually, no, I don't think they're... Go ahead.
It's just like real life. All the judges are divas.
I think the jury's not actually nervous. I think that's Cardassian clapping. They're knocking their hands against the armrests.
Thanks.
Because it's subdued for the courtroom.
She blew up her spoon.
God, Archon's such a good title. Oh, yeah, she did. some blue makeup in that spoon. Her spoon sticks out really far. Yeah, I'm thinking if I continue to stream on Twitch, then that would be weekdays at noon Pacific time. Same time videos and streams go up here. Nestor Carbonell. I don't know that term or that name, but I have Google. Nestor Carbonell, American actor who played Oh, the mayor in Batman. Oh, that guy. You flatter me, sir. Putting on a good performance for the cameras, this man. I imagine all the camera cuts that we're getting here are the actual cameras in the Cardassian court that are being broadcast on the giant screens. Oh, now I want to do an edit where I just take all the cuts of this and do like a green screen effect on those giant screen billboards on Cardassia Prime. Put some nice reverb on it. Has some Cardassian reaction shots. This is the Cardassian equivalent of Judge Judy. Oh no, yeah, if they did this for like that, this woman stole my dog, what would Cardassian Judge Judy be like? This would probably be easier for them if O'Brien wasn't known as being racist against Cardassians. Man, why does she have a sphere too? The Klingons have a sphere they bang on the table. The Cardassians have a sphere they bang on the table.
It wasn't a sphere when they showed when they came in from the top-down view. It was like a irregular shaped rock.
Okay.
But
At
yeah,
least the
same.
Cardassians ones doesn't spark like the Klingon one. Klingon one is very sparky.
That was with a movie budget. This was just a TV show.
The Bajoran judge had a sphere? Okay. Do they just have one prop? What is with these alien cultures and spheres? Or vaguely spheroid objects that they use as gavels? It's Sloane.
You're so funny.
If you say so.
You really are.
Okay. Does Starfleet use a bell? Oh yeah, they do, don't they? From that episode where Worf is on trial. And the Betazoids use bells at dinner. I imagine they probably also use bells during their arbitrations.
So, this episode's implying the Maquis have infiltrated Deep Space Nine.
I certainly have access to some of the systems.
Yeah. Before, it's kind of implied that they're just a ragtag group of revolutionaries. But here, it's like they're able to break into the systems and lock out the Doctor.
Objection, leading the witness. Oh, good. I've been watching Legal Eagle. Is that good? He's laying the foundation for this. Hearsay. Does this match one of the hearsay exceptions? I don't think it does. Oh yeah, the biggest infiltration of Deep Space Nine by the Maquis. Yeah, Michael Eddington. He got put up for a promotion. They really need to turn some lights on in the courtroom, though. Why is it so dark? You can barely even see O'Brien. Surely that doesn't make good television if you can barely see the prosecutor. Or the prosecuted.
It's not as dark as a Klingon courtroom.
But I'm just thinking if they're specifically trying to televise it and show all the grief and suffering.
Right.
You need good lighting if you're going to showcase some grief and suffering, guys.
They gotta send the Judge Judy production crew over there.
They could at least have a spotlight on Keiko, so they can get her grief-stricken reaction shots. It's like they're being lit only by the moon here. Oh, they got a gong. They got a gong and a sphere, or a spheroid.
Judges have a really packed schedule, so they usually are trying to speed things up somewhat.
What are you gonna do if he doesn't execute him? You can't punish him any further.
Yeah, the execution's already scheduled.
Yeah, what could they possibly punish him with? Just more torture before the execution?
Move up the date of execution.
Yeah, Garrick did say he didn't like all the bright lights on the station, so maybe that's what they're going for.
He's a great actor. It's public.
This guy or Garrick? Oh, this guy, okay. He's hamming it up for the Cardassian cameras a bit.
He's no Matlock. Or Jerry Orbach. Or Sam Waters.
Especially abusive. Not just a little abusive, especially abusive. Have they brought up Select 3 yet? So it would seem to be relevant. The most supportive person you've ever known won't even engage with your cultural heritage, O'Brien. No interest.
She didn't even let him have a Catholic wedding.
He's killed a lot of Cardassians. What face is that from the Archon, though? She looks disgusted with him. No, the most supportive person that O'Brien has ever known is Julian Bashir. Or at least it will be in a couple seasons. Do not, in fact, refer to Cardassians by racial slurs. Yeah, that sounds like an accurate quote from O'Brien.
I've never trusted Klingons, and I never will. I've never been able to forgive them for the death of my boy.
And you know, Captain Kirk even swears in reference to the Klingons quite frequently. In the movies,
he
that
says-
is.
And he says, let them die.
Yeah. And not just mild curses like they use on the shows. No, he uses actual proper swear words. How dare he? Captain Kirk using swearing? I thought Kirk didn't even know what swearing was. That's what I've been told. But no, I can totally see O'Brien doing everything they accuse him of here. And the thing with Captain Kirk and McCoy, not Spock, but everyone else on the senior staff swears in the movies before the Voyage Home, which is the one they say they don't swear. But they swear all the time in the three movies before that.
True.
And in the movies after that.
He's like the biggest believer in the Kardashian judicial system.
Ah, yes, they seem very compassionate, the Cardassians. Sure, let me briefly look up the colorful metaphors page. Yep, there's a lot of swearing here. From the old Trek. From Kirk and Scott. A lot of people on Enterprise, Commander Riker.
But even bloody is a swear word from
Yep.
the British.
McCoy. Just counting the stronger swears, though not the ones they use all the time, of course.
Double dumbass on you, and so
Yep.
forth.
It's a lot of surgery.
Yeah, bloody is technically a swear word, and I mean, I say I don't swear, but I do use the term bloody quite frequently. So I
It's
guess that's the
equivalent of-
only swear I use.
It's like effing in British English, basically.
Those bloody cardies.
Language, please.
Oh, sorry. It was just a colorful metaphor.
We need the YouTube ad revenue.
Oh yeah, Picard saying Meredith? No, we've established it doesn't count and if it's a language you personally don't understand.
Only a Verul would use such language in public.
How dare you? I understood that. Next you're gonna call people Pataks.
And she's sitting on his lap again. A little steamy for an episode of Star Trek, don't you think?
He's still wearing the spiky belt, too. That has to be uncomfortable.
He doesn't have a change of clothes. I think they just established that. He's got to find something wherever he's going. All right, so the next episode is not today, but it will be the Gem Hadar next week, which was our first introduction to, of course, the Gem Hadar. And everyone loves the Gem Hadar. Put on some music. That was the last one for this week. And let's just briefly have a look at all the swearing they do on Star Trek. Yep, here's from Star Trek V. I used that a couple times in the show. A little bit of harder swearing in the show. Picard. There's a lot. There's a lot.
And also to be completely fair, Star Trek was always on the airwaves. So on the FCC airwaves, you were censored. The FCC is the largest censorship body in the world. So the fact that you now have pay-per-television is the reason why you have more swear words and more express ones, and also gay characters and trans characters and things like that. So it's you were in the 60s and the 80s, so there was a lot of censorship going on that you don't have to deal with today. People really shouldn't be so shocked.
Yeah, the perceived family friendliness of Star Trek is based entirely upon the fact that it was network television. If we were to completely conceptually eliminate profanity from humanity's lexicon, it wouldn't make sense. Especially when you consider that there's science behind why we swear. Like, it actually has real neurological effects on our brain that we actually need.
So the current video project I'm working on, I guess I can spoil it. I'm doing a compilation of all of the swearing in TOS, TNG, DS9, and Voyager. Turns out there's a lot of it, by the way. So these folders just... This is the most profane folder on my computer. Here's all the times they say this on Star Trek. Hang on, let me play it for you guys.
It's made a complete ass of myself.
I'm making an ass of myself with children.
That you're still a pompous ass.
That jackass Walsh.
It would have been a lot more
One
expressive if
jackass
they didn't
was
have
his skin.
the
I
Motion
thought you're making
Picture
an ass of yourself.
Association and the television. And also, I mean, like, the miniskirts themselves in the original series was pretty edgy, in those uniforms. People really didn't see things like that.
Look at this, 118 instances of this one word on DS9. 118.
Which word?
I can't say it. It wouldn't be family friendly. Oh, this last one is from... this is from Voyager's Fairhaven. Or no, technically the episode is from Spirit Folk. This is where Seamus is saying that Tom Paris is a spirit or something.
I thought you're making an ass of yourself.
He took advantage of it, then he ran off and left her carrying his bastard child.
Oh yeah, we updated the triangle ship count today.
We did.
Like hell you will.
It's a good feeling.
That hellbox?
What the hell was going on with that?
Who the hell are you? It sure as hell confirmed, but I'm part of the puzzle now. It was hell. You sure as hell can't stay here.
So a couple of these are, it's arguable whether it's actually been used in the profane sense. I'm trying to get most of those out, to ignore most of those. But a couple will probably still be in there. A lot of the stronger forms from TOS, I just haven't gone to TOS yet. TOS uses that. Yeah.
The usage of bastard child is definitely not one of the profane uses. That is actually a term for...
Yeah, I'm just compiling them all for now, and I'll be filtering out the regular uses.
It's not family friendly though, so I mean, you could say illegitimate. You could not. It's still kind of like a... I mean, for example, the word cuck it's technically a word that describes an actual thing, but you can also use it as an epithet. But there's actually people like that, I guess.
Yeah, so currently the plan is all of the stronger swears are going to be shown the full line of it. And then for the softer ones, because they're like hundreds in each show, I'm going to do like a really fast supercut of all of them. Maybe set it to some classical music. Maybe some Flight of the Bumblebee. Maybe some Hall of the Mountain King. Just play it all the time. Just rapid fire swearing. And of course, I'll have to mention something like, don't let the 80s FCC determine what is real Star Trek for you. But yeah, that's my current project. But that'll take quite a while because there's a lot. Like 150 of each word from each show. Takes some time. Anyway, that's it for today. Show's over.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Michael.
Yep, thanks everyone.
Replace song lyrics with just swears. Good deal. Good deal. Wait. See you guys next week.